very much. Thank you for the invitation. Before I came here, I decided to left my humanity outside because it seems that humanity is not very convincing. And I want to share with you my accounting perspective on this matter of linguistic integration of migrants and refugees. A few days ago, I bumped into an article from the street magazine SymbEU, and the title was "God Bless the Foreigner," and I have gleaned the following facts. The presence of immigrants in our country has resulted in increased demand that has led to the creation of 125,000 new jobs positions, and most of them were meant to be for Greeks. The second one is our beloved AMIF and ISF provided both funds provided from 2015 till today 816.5 million euros well spent in Greece, and this amount of money led to an increase in employment and consumption. Now about Britain. If Britain recognized 618,000 immigrants, the benefit to the British economy would be £3 billion. And this is the oxymoron on that, because all European governments are lying about the issue of immigration, and they present the blessing as a threat. And it gets even better, because according to Euromonitor is a provider of global business intelligence. The European country with the most aging population will be Greece, and fifth in the entire world by 2030, 10 years from now. So I'm just asking myself why, but I think that everybody can answer this question. Even this accounting perspective is not so convincing, because we decide with the feeling on how we feel and not with our reason. So we must count on the linguistic integration of migrants and refugees, not only for often minors, but for the adults as well. How to support the host countries if they're not learning the language. Now, many Greeks may argue that, okay, we have a long migration history, this is true, and we don't have teachers. This time ago, we didn't have teachers to teach us German or Greek. And of course, we arrived in the host countries, and we succeeded, and we thrived. This is also true. So, why bothering? Okay, despite the fact that things are changing towards a better future, we have internet instead of smoke signals now. We don't use smoke signals. Or we are traveling by plane and not on foot, or by a horse or donkey. The most important thing was that our forefathers were highly motivated to immigrate to the lands of opportunities, the USA, Canada, Germany, etc. Now, what happens when people are not motivated to immigrate and are forced to move? This is our occasion now. It is certainly a riddle with many complications and challenges. Disappointment and frustration are very common among refugees and professionals in the field, such as social workers, lawyers, teachers, as myself. But we have made also good results on that. We have seen people moving forward, making their lives better, and seeing their children flourish. Keeping up with this optimistic side, what should be taken into account when we are talking about the linguistic integration of language learning in refugees and migrants? First of all, the topic language learning itself. According to modern linguistics, language learning must be also something beyond grammar and syntax. It embeds culture, history, meaning, speech act, talk interaction, feeling, and other things. That means we do focus on how, with whom, under which circumstances we use the language we learn, and not only on its accuracy, the correctness. Now, an effective linguistic, sorry, I'm an educator, so I have focused more on these things. This effective linguistic integration of refugees should contain three phases. The first one is the introductory, let's say introductory one. We need to gather some essential background of the refugees: origin, region, spoken language, if they attended the formal education in the past. We need also to acquire some basic information about the rights and legal status of them. What does it mean actually to be an asylum seeker or a recognized refugee or a migrant to each of the participants? Of course, we need to raise awareness of the culture and the language, because the communication with people from different cultures may be challenging, and of course may lead us to several ethical considerations. 3 minutes, okay, I'm just finishing now. All these I have mentioned are included in the toolkit that Despina mentioned before, for the toolkit for language support for adult refugees. It has been produced as a part of the project Linguistic Integration of Adult Migrants of the Council of Europe. And it is designed to assist organizations and especially volunteers providing language support for adult refugees. Of course, the linguistic integration of the refugees is not achieved only through language lessons. A steady environment and the promise of a better future are equally important. So why the refugees should bother learning Greek if they don't have shelter or a chance of occupation? And I would like to close my presentation. The education forms the appropriate framework within each country, as it promotes basic principles and values such as tolerance, respect for diversity, solidarity, peaceful coexistence, and overall improvement of daily interaction with populations, even with immigrant background. Thank you.